I think it really does start with how we greet every moment, right? So to me, there's something about Maya Angelou says, "This is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before." So treat every day as a gift, as an unexpected, right? So instead of taking it for granted, that everything becomes like a luscious surprise. And we don't want to live that way, so it's like, we're just depressed all the time. It's just to the degree that holding that awareness that, oh my God, I'm waking up again today, and let me greet this day with a sense of how lucky I am that my lungs are breathing. During a pandemic, here I am, I'm able to breathe, I'm waking up in bed, my body can move, I can get myself, I'm comfortable maybe in my skin and the air around me. Taking nothing for granted is how we greet the day, not just kind of writing in our gratitude journal at the end of the day of everything that went right, because it might only be a few things, but it's like, how do we take, just here's this day, how am I going to greet this day? I'm going to greet this day as a gift. I'm going to treat this day as a gift. And when we can do that and we model that for our kids, it's like it changes how I relate to the people in my life. Because if I don't take them for granted, if I don't think, okay, I've got the next 10 years to make right on that relationship, I've got, I've got the next bunch of months to offer forgiveness on that, some way that I have felt slighted, or to have that difficult conversation, or to hug the person that I completely adore. What if we don't take those things for granted and instead say, it matters now? And it basically frees us up and liberates our life energy so much to live now as if it really matters. And so I think it changes how we engage in our lives and in our families in a big way. And then the feedback loop reinforces it. So it's a powerful rhythm that we can set into motion. And we are often the agents of making those things happen in our lives and being the teachers. And so we need to be the students. I think it's a simple practice. It's not easy. And it's very similar to mindfulness, which is coming back to awareness over and over again. And I say it's perspective. Perspective is the gift that we can give ourselves and give our children, is to keep enhancing that sense of perspective. And the perspective is, I can tune into all of my senses. That is extraordinary. Let's listen to something so tuning in any moment, like, what can I be grateful for right now? What we focus so much, Hunter, on what's broken, on what's missing, on what we wish we could have more of. Like when you were talking about that consumerist society, the drive to, well, I'll be grateful when I have more of this and different of that and new of this, and this changes and I look like this and I have this, and so our gratitude ends up being incredibly conditional. And one of the things that I think is the most powerful practice is to land our experience of being grateful in the more unconditional, right? So that what's powerful about that is then no matter what, we can be grateful. Whereas gratitude has a lot of conditions to it, right? So I'm grateful when I have a transaction and it goes the way that I want it to go, or I receive something I wanted to get. Whereas the unconditional is more just what you're saying. I can move, I can breathe, I can love, I can learn, I can grow. Nothing, even for me, stage 4 cancer took me away from the ability to love, took me away from the ability to have compassion, to treasure the capacities that I did have, not lament the ones that I didn't. And so that's a powerful practice, because we want to gravitate so often in our minds to what's broken and what isn't working, to what we envy in other people, to what we covet, to all of that acquisitional energy. And gratefulness really lives inside a celebration and contentment with what is. We look at what is and we say, just as you're saying, it could always be otherwise. And your friend Reggie didn't know the day before he died that he wouldn't be here 2 days later. The people who are people who aren't here today didn't anticipate not being here. It doesn't mean that we have to think like, oh my God, I might die tomorrow, but we have no idea. And in the face of not knowing, how do we live? That's a powerful question. In the face of not knowing, how do we teach our children to live? How do we teach that savoring, treasuring, celebrating, cherishing that is the truth of how we really want to lean into life, as opposed to what I think we end up resorting to so often, which leaves us with a lot of regrets and not connected to the things that matter and the people that matter most to us.
Catch new episodes of the Mindful Mama podcast and other free resources, including the Mindful Mom Guide at mindfulmamamentor.com. You can listen to every back catalog episode, including interviews with Dr. Dan Siegel, Ianla Van Zant, Sharon Salzberg, and get meditations, join our private Facebook group, and more. Go to mindfulmamamentor.com now. I'll see you there.